Hi. Okay. Eric was a pro skier, lived all over the world, daredevil, bad boy, but a beautiful bad boy. You know what I mean? I mean, like, beautiful inside, abundant, spiritual. Like, Eric was a better person than me. Do you know what I mean? Like, he was naughty, but he was a better person than me. The memories are beautiful. Yes, I've got bad memories, you know, and I mean, of course I've got bad memories. Every relationship does. But most of the memories are fucking beautiful. I remember we really crushed 6 years, you know, like, what didn't we have in there? But I can still remember the feelings of falling in love with him. I can remember very specific moments too. Like being in Norway before we were fully together. After his mom died, I went to Norway and I was still living in Manhattan and he was in Venice Beach. And I was sitting on the couch and he was sitting at the dining room table, the one that I have in our apartment now that we brought over from Norway. And he was trying to write his eulogy. And he looked over at me and he said he loved me. I was like, did he just say he loved me? We used to like to sit out on the balcony at night during the summer on our gravity chairs and think Pink Floyd, How I Wish You Were Here. On the patio, and there you can see the out patio, a couple of chairs, and we used to take a little speaker out there, drink a little wine or beer, and I just smoke a little weed. And we sit there holding hands. Eric liked to do this lazy costume where he'd put earbuds in and he had a very realistic dildo and he would hang that out of his pants and people say, what are you? He's like, I'm just rocking out with, you know, my cock out. I was like, oh my God. So I see all of it. I see the crazy costumes. I see the lights flashing. I see the dildo. I see Eric's face. I loved taking care of him. He liked to cook too, and he was a decent cook. Damn, did he make some good fluffy eggs? Wow. He could rock eggs way better than me any day of the week. If we backtracked, you know, 1 billion years, something led us to each other, you know, like all of it, like all of these connections. And Lane, it was like a hot summer day and we lived on the boardwalk in Venice and it was this shit show. In Harlem, I had a washer and dryer. Nobody has that in Manhattan. And then I moved to Venice. I was like, no washer and dryer. It's kind of like this shithole on the beach, but I didn't care. And I remember the sun filtering in through those broken blinds and my head on his chest. And that's one of the happiest I've ever been. Ever. Feeling completely content. And I always said that about Eric, you know, it's like I wanted to die in his arms. And he got to die in mine. You know, grief doesn't give a shit. It loves to grab you by the throat whenever it feels like. And it terrifies you. I cannot tell you how many strangers I've cried with this year in their arms, how many people have hugged me. It's embarrassing. But it's also not. I also don't care. Because I can't hide how I feel about Eric. I still show people Eric's pictures all the time. I'm so proud of him, you know, so proud of him. I'm as proud of him now as when he was alive. I always show people pictures of like, oh, this is my husband. And, you know, he was the biggest thing in my life and the most important thing in my life. And I don't know how to let him go. so many memories. Our anniversary, all those things I told you the first time we made love, Christmas, his birthday, when we got engaged, jumping out of a plane. The hospital is the hardest. The hospital is so hard. I fucking hate the hospital. I hate those memories. It's like I keep getting, I feel like I'm in a black abyss. And I like claw my way out for these little bright spots, but I'm like yesterday I was in the bathroom till 3 p.m. just trying not to take a pill, trying not to have a drink, just crying and screaming for Eric. Driving to the mountains in Utah, we always held hands in the car. So, like, what reminds me of Eric, I mean, where I feel him the most, never anything more than the mountains of Utah have I felt him. You go from making memories, especially us, just constantly, you know, we did everything together, not in a codependent way, in the way that we love to. You know, we didn't have a traditional marriage. We were together a lot, and at the end of the day, all we really gave a shit was about each other. And certainly he only really gave a shit about me. The blur really started the second that he went to the hospital. Seen him take his last breaths. Them telling me that he was dead on the dining room floor. And then reviving him. And then the coma. And then making the decision to take him off life support. I sent him off to wherever he went, you know, with an Emperor King send-off. I hope I get to go that way with so much love and people. And, you know, he got lifted up to wherever he went with a lot. I remember Jen sent me that picture. It's just the one that breaks my heart the most, but it's the one that says everything. They used to say that the only time his heart would like beat like crazy is when I walked into the room and he heard my voice. Erin snuck our cat into the ICU a couple of days and she sat with him for hours. I shook him. I said, "You don't leave me. You don't get to leave me." I could have kept him alive. He wasn't gonna die. Gaze at the full moon from our balcony. I mean, I hope that with this, that there is hope. Do you know what I mean? There is a lot of beauty in my life. I mean, across Europa was so much beauty. It's like, why do the things that transform you have to be so painful? Eric used to always say, you know, all we have is now. All we have is this time now. I'm not here for a long time. I'm here for a good time. living in the moment. All that cliche stuff is true. Because what else do you have?
按建筑商啊，卢米埃。